and their secretaries to address the place. We welcome you, and we want to sincerely inform you on behalf of the national chairman, who is the chairman of the NWC and also the chairman of the NEC. We want to sincerely welcome you and appreciate you. We believe the issue you are going to discuss is an issue of very, very important to the progress and corporate existence of our great party. The party is facing a lot of challenges, which I believe all of you are aware of, and you have been prepared to face it. All of us in the Labour Party believed the party has come to challenge the status quo in the political arena of Nigeria. The emergence of Peter Obi and the unflinching support the state chairman, their local government chairman, and the ward chairman given to him brought about the success that the party had recorded in the last general election. So we should continue to weather well. We should continue to bring ourselves together and cooperate with one another and try as much as possible to bring the internal conflict resolution mechanism to take into play in resolving our internal clashes. In all the political parties, Labour Party is the only party that has that ability because of the manifesto that is enshrined in our constitution to accommodate and cooperate with one another. So we welcome you, and we want to sincerely inform you. Majority of the NWC members are presently in Benin, Edo State. As we are talking now, the primaries or the congresses to elect the delegate to participate in the gubernatorial primaries are there, and we believe a good result will come out. We had in the last 4 days screened our candidates or our aspirants who are to participate in the upcoming primary election. We're going to release the list to the media after you have finished your briefing. So thank you very much, Chairman. Well, I take my leave. I'm here to back you up alongside the legal advisor, Barrister Kende Edu, who has given you all the legal backing. So be rest assured you are legally protected. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. We've been talking to ourselves, trying to analyze the situation and the circumstances that is going around both the country and our party in particular. The chairman
of the 36 states and the FCT being the nucleus of the party, we have decided, after our deliberations, to talk to Nigerians and also tell the world our own side of the story. Nobody will want to allow a house you built over the year to collapse on you. We have toiled for too many years, too many years, to build up this Labour Party. It has gotten to this level. And it is based on this that we want to assure Nigerians that Labour Party is the only party to beat. If your tree you planted doesn't have fruits on it, nobody will throw stones at you. So because we have beautiful fruits, very wonderful fruits, that is why these stones are going up and down. It is now our responsibility to make sure we protect both the fruit, the tree, and those who are throwing them. And that's exactly what we have come to do today. On that note, I want to read out a very little script which we put together. That is the Labour Party State Chairman communique. Because our visit here is just a solidarity visit to the national headquarters. Unfortunately, majority of the NWC members are in Edo to ensure that we have very transparent primaries in Edo election. And also, this solidarity is to the National Working Committee, and in particular, our national chairman, Barrister Julius Abure. Let me also emphasize this, that the 36 state chairmen form 80% of members of NEC, and NEC is the highest organ of the Labour Party. So we constitute an authority to speak on behalf of the party. And that is why today we want you to understand, gentlemen of the press, we thank you for your prompt responses to our invitation, even at a very short notice. We thank you for always being a partner in this wondrous task of rescuing Nigeria from the stranglehold of a few desperate men in power. However, the purpose of this press conference is to intimate you, like I said earlier, on the recent development in our great party. We are here to pay a solidarity visit to the entire members of the National Working Committee of our great party, and particularly our indefatigable national chairman, Barrister Julius Abure. We are here to reinforce our confidence on the Barrister Abure's leadership of the Labour Party and his ability to provide a transparent leadership in this party. You know, most of us have been here right from the time of Dan Wanyanwu, and we have seen the transition from one party to from one leadership to the other. So it's only us that can tell which one is the best for us. And that is why we are emphatically stating today that this leadership is a leadership we trust and we believe in it. We are here also to use this opportunity to respond to some of the spurious and unfounded allegations that are being made generally on the leadership of the party, especially the one that has to do with mismanagement of funds of the party, the one that has to do with our suspension, or purported suspension of our leader, national leader, our presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, and the lack of transparency in the management of the affairs of the party. We are also going to address, even in the course of this release, a purported vote of no confidence by a group of 4 persons in faraway Bauchi who said they have passed vote of no confidence. We need to put the record straight and tell people, Nigerians, and especially our numerous followers across the world, that they are all impostors. We don't know them. That is why today, you can see from this side, starting from the last person there sitting, he is the Abuja State Chairman, Labour Party. The one sitting behind him is we are a critical part of the leadership of the Labour Party, like I said, being members of the National Executive Committee. This present NWC is our own baby. And we have entrusted our collective trust on it, having carefully selected them based on the members' pedigree, integrity, capacity, and administrative leadership styles to lead the rest of us. This leadership has displayed high level of transparency in the management of the party finances. The audit report as prepared by the external auditor is very clear, very, very clear. Let me emphatically state here that our money is not missing. We didn't generate 3.5 billion as claimed by our suspended treasurer. We can confirm that the party only realized 1.3 billion because what we saw on the papers is the true position, unless there's another account they are running we don't know about. During the 2023 general election, there was another 700 million donations which was used by the Presidential Campaign Council. All these monies were lodged in the banks and were promptly receipted. The audit is also clear about the money generated during the off-season elections and how it was properly managed. The allegation that the national chairman didn't allow her perform her duties was also a huge lie. In all our financial dealings with the national leadership, most of us here can confirm that anytime we come to this occasion, it is the treasurer that always asks for the account numbers of all of us. And we also, I remember I've handed over several of them to her. So I don't know where that issue came. She always been the officer that has attended to us. From the records, virtually all the checks were signed by her and the national chairman. It is obvious she may have been influenced to lie against the national chairman because we have been one family. You may be wondering why our national leader and the presidential candidate in the last general election, Mr. Peter Obi, seems to be silent on this matter. The truth is that our leader has mediated severally and privately on this matter. The truth is that our leader has mediated, and he is also aware that the sustained attacks against Barrister Julius Abure are sponsored and are politically motivated by our opponents. We are aware of this, and I recall during our last meeting, I mentioned it to us that there are going to be too many apapas that are going to come up now. If we didn't come together to stop the first apapa, it would have been difficult for us to be existing now. And that is why we won't allow, because there are all serious internal mechanisms that should be exhausted, first of all, before you start getting public. Assuming you had the best of intentions to handle issues like this, you should have notified the party itself, bring us into confidence, and say, gentlemen, this is exactly what's going on here. And that would have helped us to exhaust all the internal mechanisms which all of us put together before going outside, if you don't want to destroy the party. So based on that, we won't allow anybody to destroy the party we have collectively built to this point. Again, our leaders knows the role the national chairman played during the process of his joining the party. After he joined the party, and even during the campaign, he is aware of the immense sacrifices made by the leadership of the party for the project to become a reality. He is also aware that all the allegations are unfounded and spurious. That is why he chooses to remain silent, because he knows the truth. He also knows that the national chairman is honest and dedicated, and is also passionate about the growth and development of the party. The decision of our leader to involve a forensic independent auditor is a welcome development by all of us. Yes. We want it to be carried out so that the truth will come out. Because if we said no, it will appear as if there's something we're hiding. So we want that independent forensic audit. Let it go on so that the outcome will finally exonerate Julius Abure, and some of the allegations will expose lies being peddled by the former treasurer. It is very clear that the sponsored crisis is the handiwork of our political opponents that are afraid of the future of the party. They are probably nursing fears and are looking for every opportunity to derail the party and to ensure that it is unable to realize its set goals. All of us are aware that we won this election. All of us are aware because we followed the elections. Me, I know what happened in my state in Abia. We followed it and made sure that the result, we have the result. Forget about the doctors and all those things that happened. We know we won. And that is why the opponents or the opposition parties, despite being in government, are afraid of what we are going to do. And we will not relent. We will continue to build this party until we get into the government to rescue Nigerians. We are also aware that some people are afraid of the fortunes of our party in Edo State. You know, this governorship election, based on our exploits in Edo, generally referred as the headquarters of the obedient movement in Nigeria. They have been very uncomfortable, and they are going all the way to fan embers of discord within the party. We want to assure them that their plots will fail, and the party will trudge on to massive victory. Finally, like I mentioned earlier, a few days ago, a group of people we don't know gathered in Bauchi and said they have passed vote of no confidence on our chairman. We know that they are their papa because our former Bauchi State chairman, the barrister, Saraki, we know he masterminded that. And he knows, thank God, the Apapa group are now acknowledging that Abure is the national chairman. Yeah. Because they initially said he was not the national chairman. So very soon, the truth will still start coming up one by one. So it is on that ground that you have them here, the party chairman seated here. There were only four persons who are there. They are not here. So I encourage you to thank God. God will bless the press for ignoring them, because it was not carried by the main media. It was just a social media thing. So because it was a social media thing, hold on now. Because it was a social media thing, you ignored them. God will bless you because you are partners in progress. I want to also remind us that few days ago, INEC came here. All of us, our secretaries, we gathered at the hall there for verification. And after the verification, INEC said that Labour Party, by what they have seen, they will score us between 85% and 100. So based on that, if we have this, I don't know if they have a different law or constitution that is guiding some of these utterances. But as a party and as a council of chairmen that constitute the majority in the neck of Labour Party, our resolve is Julius Abure, we are passing vote of confidence on him, on our national leader, Mr. Peter Obi. We are passing vote of confidence on them, the way they are running the party. We are so sure that that is this synergy. What they want to achieve is to pitch our national leader, Mr. Peter Obi, and our NWC. And we won't allow that to happen. We won't give them any chance to pitch the two of them together. It won't happen. We want to applaud the Obedient family for the massive support they gave to us during the last general elections. But we must warn, there must be decorum in everything we do. Labour Party accommodated everybody from every center, from the left, the right, up and down. We accommodated everybody, gave everybody level playing ground. But we want to let everybody know that even in that condition, we have a constitution that guides the character, behavior, responses, and respect within the party hierarchy. As a result, now that the elections are there, everybody, we don't have any pro-group anymore. What we have is the Labour Party. Everybody should go and join Labour Party. We will encourage the National Working Committee to wield the big hammer on those who are hell-bent on bringing discord within us. We won't tolerate it anymore. There should be decorum and there should be order within the system. We also want to assure you that we support wholeheartedly all the decisions taken by the National Working Committee of our party. But we must also appeal that in the issue of the suspension of the National Treasurer, we appeal that they should revisit the process. They should revisit it so that they will know that we don't have anything to hide. We appeal to the National Working Committee to revisit that suspension in the spirit of oneness, in the spirit of our ability to build this party, and in the spirit of brotherhood. We encourage and we request, we appeal to them through the National Legal Advisor to please revisit the process. I know that even if she had done something wrong, the arm of the law will still catch up with her at the end of the day. On that note, gentlemen of the press, I encourage you to continue to uphold all the tenets that will help us to build a very right country that all of us will be proud of. Thank you very much. Hold on. You were asking and I kept quiet. If you don't know the role of a treasurer, I will tell you the role of a treasurer in our constitution. The treasurer is to keep our properties and finances. He is not to give account. That is why that account has not been presented to the NEC. If the account has been presented to the NEC, we would have known the state of our account. So we cannot agree with you that money is missing. We can't. We must follow the due process. Let the account be presented to NEC. Then NEC will then ask the necessary questions. And then before we answer, before we tell you the position, her role is to keep the resources, to keep it and not to make it public. It is not why she was elected.
My name is Julius
Of Labour Party. When things are going wrong, we step up our matter and make sure it is corrected. Please, gentlemen, you say you're a press man. Enough of this media trial, please. Enough of this media trial. Two wrongs can never make a right. We must build an institution first. You are here telling me treasurer should give account. It shows lack of knowledge. Treasurer cannot, sorry, please. Please. So it does not mean if you're a treasurer, you should give account. It does not mean if you are an elected officer, you will usurp the responsibility given to others. We will not allow that to happen in Labour Party. Our responsibility is to make sure that every officer discharges his or her own duty. I am telling you, until that account is submitted to NEC, the audited report, we cannot take a stand. Rather, we elected Abure to lead us. We stand here to uphold that confidence vote. Until when the right we are given, we are majority in the NEC. And the NEC is the highest decision-making body of Labour Party. We cannot join you to do media trial. We can't. We must follow the protocol. We must follow the right route. It's only when that is done that when we get to the point, after clear explanations to all the transactions, that is when we can give you another version of our position. But for now, this is our decision.
Well, you have not answered the question.
What is the question?
The question is, you are talking about the treasurer having to be reconsidered.
No. That is, hold on. You didn't listen to me clearly. I said in the spirit of brotherhood. I think I said that.
That means the woman.
Hold on. Will allow me. Please, allow me to finish. In the spirit of brotherhood, it was an appeal we made. It's an appeal. It is left for them to take our appeal or to ignore until it is brought to neck. But for now, I am not a member of NWC. They are entitled to their decisions and their opinions until it is brought to neck that I am a member and all of us are members. None of you is a member of NEC. None of you. So we must tell you how the party go. We don't even need you there. But the most important thing, let the right thing be done at the right time. And that is what the Council of Chairmen stand.
It's okay. It's okay.
People say things that do not exist. It is a place of the media to get information and ask people to defend what they've heard. If Maria Libeke have come to say her signature was forged, it is our place to ask question, to ascertain that allegation, and not to present a position that suggests that you are already taking sides. Because we who are in the party, we know that that allegation is not true. And it is we who will tell you the true position, and not you imposing a position you have heard through the media or you've heard through propaganda. I am saying this because this profession obliges us to be fair, to be objective, and to be accurate in our reporting. That is what I want to say as a broadcaster. Thank you.